look this way now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Btec Philosophers, episode 13, with your host, me, Michael Odewale, and my good friend, Elliot Still.
Hello.
How have you been, Elliot, man?
I'm very good. It's good.
I wasn't here last week.
No, the most downloaded episode ever.
The most popular episode ever was with Vittoria Angeloni, who stepped in, and it did very good numbers.
Yeah.
Without me.
Well, you were in Norway.
I was in Norway. I was doing some gigs out there. It's a beautiful country, man. You ever been?
Yeah. I went when I was a kid.
Oh, not for comedy.
Nah. You said that in a way that was a little bit like I've not been invited.
No, I'm just saying, like,
You got one fucking Amazon Prime special, and all of a sudden,
listen, I'm international, Mike. I was out in Norway. Beautiful country, man. Very, very clean, pristine people. There's really no flaws that I found in the country. I was in the rich people part. But even the fact that they kept the poor people away, I mean, is very, very good country. You know?
is that your idea of a good place?
Just, everyone's going to have them, but, find a good place to put them. And
Yeah,
then,
put them like near some mountains or shit that I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm roughing the place up. I'm trying to enjoy my holiday.
I got my little scooter scooting around, It was nice. It was a good holiday, man. What'd you get up to last week?
I was just gigging about, man. Gigging.
Yeah?
Getting more complaints.
More complaints.
Dude, it's been unreal lately.
It's becoming a regular occurrence.
Well, I don't know if okay. The issue could be me.
Well, you are the common denominator in that you are saying the words that are offending people.
Yes. However, I would like to say this.
Okay.
I think audiences are, especially at certain comedy clubs, where they go, oh, it's very cheap to come in and it's cheap drinks. It attracts a lot of students who go to places like Goldsmiths University and things like that. And they
other universities are also full of offended students.
Yes.
Just for clarification.
Yeah, but they're the go-to.
So
I walked past it the other day, and literally everyone I saw come out of there, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is too stereotypically. Like this is genuinely what I would assume.
This is why you didn't go to uni.
Yeah.
It was too.
Oh, I wouldn't have lasted at uni. And so I think what happens is these people come, they're like 18, 19 years old. They haven't yet learned. One, they don't know everything. Two, nobody gives a fuck what you think. Nobody cares. I do comedy and nobody gives a fuck what I think. They only care about the jokes I say on stage.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Of all the people that you've offended, let's say in the last year and a half, like visibly they've come up to you to complain.
Yeah.
Because we've got the ones that have been filmed, and I'm sure there's countless others there.
Oh, there's the ones that don't make it to social media.
Because those are the ones you know you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the common demographics? What's a common theme amongst these people?
Caucasian women.
Caucasian women.
Yes. Or there was one night at Top Secret. Posh gay dudes.
Posh gay dudes.
Posh gay dudes.
These are the two demographics that are not liking your set.
Yes. I'll say this about the posh gay dudes who complained about my set. What was hilarious was Gabemi had been on, and so they were saying some things about me while he was on. They were so sexually aggressive towards him that it was actually a problem.
Really?
Yeah, that it made him a little bit. He wasn't uncomfortable, but he wasn't cool with what was going on. He's a great comic.
Gabemi is a very talented comic.
Yeah, if you don't know him, check him out. He's going to be massive. He's funny, dude.
We don't know his second name. Just go for Gabemi comedian.
Yeah. And,
like Madonna.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's funny as fuck, right? We were hanging out at Top Secret one night, and then I have that joke where I mention I've got gynecomastia. It's a bit of breast development in me. I've got a joke about it, and one of them came up. He was a doctor, and he was like, he was complaining to Mark, and then he went to me. By the way, it's gynecomastia. If you're gonna say something, say it correctly. And I was already there. I was like, I've won the argument.
Yeah,
I've won the argument. And
every comedian, before they do their gig, they have to make sure they get the medical terminology right. Before the jokes, make sure you get your medical terminology correct.
But the through line of what these people got, that I'd say, whether it is the white women or the gay dudes, it is all white. And I'll say this. There's an air of upper middle class. I know what's correct. How dare you ism with it? You know that
You can't just add an ism to a whole phrase.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
can.
whole
You can add
phrase.
isms to any phrase.
You can add ism to a word. You can't add ism to a whole phrase. You said a whole sentence and then you put ism at the end. That's not how.
It's the new racism.
Not how
It
isms
is.
works.
Yes, it is.
Heir of upper middle class know better than you ism. You can't do that.
That's what we can.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you ism.
I'm now doing it.
We're ism in paragraphs now. Fair enough.
Yeah, and so there's that little bit of, privately educated. I went to school and I know what to think. Whereas if they actually ask me anything, I probably agree with 99% of the things we're going to talk about. I think that actually comes through my act on stage.
Okay, so that's a question. Let's say they didn't come to you aggressive. Are you a comedian who is down to have a conversation about the contents of your set?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. But look, I'll be honest with you. I play dumb on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm smart enough within my writing that I'm going to get away
I can verify that.
I will get away with everything.
Your set is so much smarter than you are.
Yeah. Because I have time to refine it.
Sometimes I think it's ghostwritten. That's how smart it is. I'm like,
Dad! Dad!
come here a minute.
How do you do a pullback and reveal? Yeah. So there was a complaint, and of course I do my thing where I record myself getting a complaint because, and I'll openly admit this, there is nothing better to market. So those two gay dudes who went and complained to me at Top Secret, saying I was like homophobic and all of this stuff. Yeah, I wasn't. They heard a word.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't listen to what I was
People
saying.
be latching onto single word isms, and then they just go crazy with it.
See, it's fun. Just saying it.
Just
Put
putting the
ism
ism
at the end.
yeah.
And so they went up, complained to Mark. I got a picture of them complaining. Got like 40 retweets, 700 likes. I added the ticket link at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, my show suddenly sold out because you've come up and made it look more dangerous than it actually is.
This is the book of Madonna. Controversy sells. Madonna's been selling sex ever since she was 18. She's 60ish now. It's going less well, but it is it's a formula that's made her a lot of money.
Yeah,
And you're doing the same.
It's a little bit when you post up. You look good for 60. Doesn't mean you look good.
Exactly.
Oh, we're gonna piss off the gays again with that one.
That might take the gays and the women. That's all of them. That's a big market, actually.
So I filmed my. So last week you'd have heard me do a bit on the podcast about a Holocaust replacement service. I thought I'd try it on stage. Tried it, both shows at Top Secret. Murdered. Absolutely killed.
No, don't use that word.
Okay,
It did very well. It did very well.
The poor choice of words we're talking about.
It did well.
It was fighting. No, so I recorded a little bit, and I thought I'd bring it to the podcast and let you see it.
Okay.
So if we could, here we go.
Thank you, Sergio. By the way, he's doing our tech because Phoebe's not in.
Thank you, Ace.
You think that 6 million people dying is funny?
I didn't joke about 6 million people dying.
Yes, you did. You're amazing.
Thank you.
So this person likes me.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you were.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's your name, by the way?
Elliot still calm. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
You're allowed to dislike me. You're clearly emotional about it. That's cool. Look, I don't want to cause you any offense. I'm not here to cause any
You
trouble.
did. You did.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. If what I said upset you, I'm sorry.
Well, it didn't upset me, but it upset my friend, so I think all you can say is just apologise.
I'm not going to apologize for the jokes.
You're not going to apologise. Are you going to apologise for
Wait, can we pause it?
I'm sorry you feel the way you feel, but
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I mean, if that was me, and I'm backed in a corner against white tears, I have to leave. That's too dangerous of a scenario for me to stay in. That's like someone pulling a knife on you for a black person. White tears. Oh my goodness. I'll be very scared in that situation.
Oh, it was causing quite the scene, Michael.
Quite
I
the
don't
scene.
mind telling you that. Oh, quite white. Ooh.
Is there more?
Yeah.
Let's
There's a
see
little bit
what's
left.
in there.
I'm trying my hardest not to laugh all the way through.
no, you came to a comedy show. I talk a lot of shit. Ma'am, I talk a lot of shit. I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, you're way more intelligent than me. Have that.
You're an awful person. You're joking about people dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What was that delivery? Hey, talk a lot of shit.
I was trying to
terrible
give her-
person.
I was
like
try-
Bill Cosby-ish.
Yeah, well, I was trying to tell her she's correct in the way that she feels. She could say that. She can have all of these things that I'm an awful person and all of that. But she was going that I was anti-Semitic, that I was...
She's not owed an apology, mate.
She's not owed an apology. And also, this is the thing I never get at comedy shows when people do this and come up afterwards and complain. There's other acts on. It's a variety thing. So you can go, I don't like him. I think he's terrible. You can talk to your friends afterwards about how terrible I am. They can all go, he was terrible. And you can all bond over how terrible I am and go, I like the other act. You can do that.
I think I was watching Dave Chappelle when he got the Mark Twain Award. He said something on stage is like, people don't know this, but every single opinion is covered by a comedian somewhere. Anything you believe, there's a comedian who believes that also. And you could spend time championing people who back up what you believe instead of, you know, being against what you don't like. Because that would make more sense to me. Put up the people who believe what you believe.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, instead of like giving more energy to the people you don't like. It doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, the bit that just makes me laughing at the end is when she's like, you're an awful person. It's like,
Because that's not even untrue, but it's just the wrong context. You know what I mean? You're just saying that in the wrong time or for the wrong reason.
she'd only seen me do 10 minutes. You have to hang out with me for at least half an hour to work out that I'm an awful person. So yeah, while you were in Norway, going to see fish and going whaling,
You were,
whatever it
you
was.
were dealing with whaling.
I was dealing.
Look at that wordplay right there.
Well, we want to keep it philosophical this week.
We do. Are you worried though about the state of? I know everyone always talks about this in comedy. Are you worried though about this becoming a regular theme?
No, I'll tell you what it is, right? I don't know how everyone else feels in this room about it, but I think there's
three people in this.
Yeah, well, throwing it out to everyone.
So just say his name, Sergio.
Just
say, why are you saying it's me?
I was throwing it
and
out
it's
in the
him.
room, and I was also a little bit scared I was going to fuck up the pronunciation of his name. I'm not going to lie.
Michael did, actually.
What did I say?
Because Sergio's Spanish is Sergi.
Sergi.
Sergi, yeah.
Sergi, my bad,
That's okay.
Sergi. You see, but then I fucked up, and then I was corrected, and now we've moved on.
Yeah, but I've got a lot of previous. I've just had a clip where a woman's accused me of laughing at the Holocaust. I can't come in here being insensitive with names. It'd be hilarious if our producer just leaves because he's like, "You're an awful person."
I mean, if you fuck up 5 times, then that's which you're likely to do. But, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure Sergi has endless patience.
No, everyone does. Like,
No.
I've done sometimes like 3 spots in one night and the MC saying my name wrong 3 times.
Does it really bother you when that happens?
Not really. I don't really care.
Okay, here's a question I wanted to I could throw out to both of you that I don't really get to have an opinion on, and I'm gonna throw this out in a way that I'm not trying to be. Let me preface with, I'm not trying to be inflammatory.
Okay.
I'm genuinely curious. Do you ever find? So I was looking at people tweeting about, like, do you ever find some people go, oh, that's racist, this is it, look at white people at it again? And so do you ever look at some of those things and be like, that's not really what the race, that's not, let's not make this the champion this cause, champion this kind, going against this kind of thing. That seemed harmless to me.
Yeah, there's plenty of things to do with race. I'm like, yeah, this don't really bother me. But then I'm like, you know what? There's a large spectrum of blacks, and different people have different triggers. But sometimes I do see things like, this is not really affecting me on a day to day. You know, for example, you know, you see a white guy with dreadlocks and stuff, and then you see some black people like, they don't know the history of the dreadlocks. I don't know the history of the dreadlock. You think I'm reading books on dreadlocks before I'm decided to get? No, I don't know. And why? What? Who cares? You know what I mean? So like, there are definitely things I'm like, I kind of roll my eyes out. But then I just think different people, they have different struggles, different ideas of what is offensive to them. But I just, you know, I don't like when people try and speak upon, like, this is what all black people are mad at, because it's not always true.
Yeah. Do you find, so like with the name thing, do you find that sometimes it's like, people are probably not.
What is your background in?
I'm actually from Barcelona. So
From Barcelona, you got the Catalan
Catalan,
thing.
Spanish, yeah.
You
I
get
consider
offended
myself-
when people like mix you up?
No, not really. And also, the word racist is like something that I never applied to myself, because at the end, I'm a straight white dude. So it's just discrimination. Although, because of the background and my culture and everything, I really like when people does jokes about it, because I've never, like, luckily my old like the background they never suffered. So
Mhm.
like Spanish people did awful things, and I'm not. I'd never get mad when someone takes the piss of my culture or something, because it's just I don't mind. And also Spanish people taking the piss of the Catalan people, I don't mind.
Really?
I'm fine. Yeah,
that's
I'm happy.
interesting.
Also, I find it funny. I'm always asking like all my British friends to just make jokes about my accent, and they find it a bit like at the beginning is a bit like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I love it."
Well,
Yeah.
Britain and Spain are probably neck and neck for making the world a worse, worst place. If you ever want to look into,
People don't really touch on the Spanish. You know, you guys, you know, in South America and all that. You guys, a lot of stuff, man.
South America.
We did awful things in the world,
Mm.
and like the Germans did, British people did, and they're like both Germans and Brits. They're both ashamed. Spanish people, they're still celebrating once a year what they did in South America.
Really?
The Germans and Brits, they're always
What's
like,
the Spanish
oh, yeah.
celebration?
We called Dia de la Hispanidad, and is the date when we arrived in South America. And we
Really?
did what we-
I think we should take that kind of route. We've been too sympathetic for too long.
For too long?
Let's double down.
Like 5 years. It's been like 5 years
Let's double down
of kind of acceptance.
and have a day where, and you know what? We can have multiple days. We arrived in a lot of places. We can have a lot of celebrations.
That was like, there's been like 5 years of kind of acceptance. You can't say it's been a long time.
5 years. That's a World Cup and a Euro.
That's a World Cup and a Euro and a couple women's World Cups too. A couple women's Euros. So multiple tournaments.
Yeah, I thought because I find that interesting that what you were saying there about I think it's funny like as a British person I love somebody who's foreign coming over here and laughing at things we do that you don't realize as a British person is insane. The same way that I find whenever I've played like a gig, I've only done a couple of what you could call black gigs or anything like that. But if you go in there and point out things as like, hey, I've noticed this, it crushes, it kills because as a comedy really works when you're an outsider. If you're an outsider going into something, into another group of people and lovingly pointing out like something mental that you've noticed.
Yeah.
It nothing will ever kill as hard. That's why Patricia O'Neill's routines about white people murder, especially to white people. Like, have you seen that clip where he's talking about the song "Creep"? There's this clip. For people, go look it up. Where Patricia O'Neill was talking about white people when the song "Creep" is playing. It's so funny, and it's like as a white person, you're like, oh, that's very relevant. That's what we do.
There's also an element of removal from it. Let's say like I'm gonna go see Chris Rock tomorrow, right? And Chris Rock's gonna go on stage. He's gonna talk about racism, probably like American racism, institutionalized racism, to a room full of British white people, and they'll be like, this is not us. We're this far away from us. But I feel like if you, as a black British comedian, you did that same hour on institutionalized British racism, it wouldn't get. I don't think the room, because there's that removal.
Ooh, I disagree.
You disagree?
I noticed this when in London a lot.
In London, maybe.
If I have to hear one more routine, and they said to me, "Where are you really from?"
But that's I'm talking like actual intrinsic going in
like,
on the shit.
The 9th time that's been said tonight, like you know what I mean.
But that's a softball, I would say.
What do you mean?
That's like in terms of a racial joke. That's a softball. That's easy. That's hack.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like somebody actually, Chris Rock level British going in on.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but
I feel like no, I'm not saying we'll get a bad reaction. I would just say maybe the audience will be more uncomfortable than if it is watching an American do the same thing about their own country.
I think Chris Rock is so tapped into the cultural zeitgeist. I think he's going to know about British racism. I think he's been here enough to understand what British racism is. Not that I understand it either, but I think he'll be able to point out to the room. And I think people would. But this is the other thing with a British audience. This is why I disagree with you. British people don't want to hear about America. That actually pisses us off. If you come over from America and start talking about, hey, here's what's going on in America, that will piss British people off more because we're like, we're not fucking American. Stop talking to us like we're American. We're a very different group of people. And we pride ourselves on the fact that we're not American.
I would disagree on that. I would disagree on that. In terms of the fact that I think when you see certain names, you want to hear their perspective on what's going on.
Yeah, but you want I would be like, I want you to, if I'm paying the amount of money I have to pay to go see a comedian of that stature, I want you to, on that flight over here, could you write some fucking jokes? Could you do 5 minutes on about where I'm from, please?
Yeah, they'll do the 5 minutes. They'll give you 5 minutes. Like, oh, I just went to Brixton. Y'all got black people out here. They'll do something like that.
That's exactly
They'll do that.
That would be that.
And then you'll be like, I love it. You talked about that.
I was expecting black people to be in top hats and canes. That's
Don't
the
do
kind
that.
of, yeah. That but that thing I was saying, like the way that's a thing as well that bothers me about like the sort of the yassification, the Yas Queen sort of audiences that you get in London, right?
I would like more depth on what that means.
The people, you know what I'm saying, the Prosecco Club who end up coming to the comedy shows. They've been out, they've stood by that picture that says, well-behaved women don't make history. They're the kind of people that tweet, we are the daughters of the witches that they couldn't burn. Those
Ism.
Those.
I was waiting for the ism
yeah.
to kind of to wrap it all up. I didn't understand.
Do you know what I'm on about?
Yeah, I know that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that well-behaved women sign? I've never seen it.
Not in a bar.
Women are terrorizing men with this picture, and I don't know where they're getting it from. I believe that every woman has a personalized sign that they're buying off Amazon or something. I do not know where this sign is coming from.
It is so like nothing is more like nothing's more. I'm gonna fuck this Hinge date once and never call again. Than when you see that in her profile picture, innit?
Do they not know the thousands of women that have already posted before them? I don't really get it.
Well-behaved women don't make history. You turn up to work on time. You pay taxes. You call the police when a black man in a hoodie is outside your house. What are you on about?
Many of the women who are posting in front of that sign, ironically, they would be dying unknown if they followed that same rule. Because you're not doing anything iconic.
Yeah, really good work there, Michelle. Can we have that report on my desk? But yeah, there's sort of, and there's a group of men that are like it as well. It's just fun to shit on with, but there's guys that are like it as well.
Why you had imbalance for?
You're right, that's not what this podcast is
People
about.
know.
That's not what this is about.
We shit on men, we shit on guys.
Yeah.
We don't need to add balance all the time.
Yeah, you're fair enough. And they'll come to like, you know, a comedy show, and then like I'm saying, they'll see that bit that's like, somebody said to me, "Where are you really from?" And I went, "Luton." And then they went, "No, where are you really from?" And I went, "Luton." And then
Sometimes you just want to know where somebody's from. Why are you making it difficult? You know? You just want to know. I mean, it depends how aggressive they're asking.
I would say that this is like a very educational bit. But for example, when I moved to the UK, I was racist and I didn't know that. And that type of jokes, Spain is a very racist country.
Yeah.
Know that. And because I didn't know that, watching that type of set, which I've watched like lots of times, with that question, I realized that the right question to ask is, what's your background? So is it like, yeah, a lot of people does it, but it's very necessary for people like me who didn't know how to ask, what's your background?
Yeah, Elliot. Why are you
All right,
othering people?
where the fuck did this guy come from? turning up with knowledge. This is what this show's about. We're to make the world a worse place. That's the aim of this podcast.
Can we edit that out and make out like I said it? Because I feel like that's something I was supposed to say, actually.
I agree with you, but in like from my point of view, when I watched it lots of times is when I've learned this. So,
okay.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, because why can't they be from somewhere in London?
They can. They absolutely can. You absolutely can.
No, but I get it now. I actually get it now because you're forcing them.
Stop trying to make friends.
They're forcing you to ask what you really want to ask. Be specific.
What's your
They're forcing you to
background?
be specific.
Okay, but where I get what you're saying. Like, where are you ready for? Do you know what? Who do you support in the World Cup? That'd be the.
Well, I support Nigeria until they get knocked out in a group stage.
And then you support England. Who would you support in Nigeria or England?
Oh, Nigeria.
Really?
Yeah.
I really wanted. Nigeria came out with one of the greatest World Cup shirts ever.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get it.
A lot of white people.
But I was like, I can't. I don't.
Because of your body shape, or.
We see the fat shaming that goes on this podcast.
I just finished your sentence.
My body shape. What do you mean because of my body shape?
2 years ago, during that World Cup year. When was the World Cup? 2018?
Yeah.
No, was it?
2018.
Yeah. So I'm imagining your body shape 2018 wasn't where it wanted to be. you know, the shirt would have been. It's because it's quite a tight shirt because it's supposed to fit.
I would have bought
muscular.
the correct size. Does Nigeria have a rule that they go, we only do small and medium? There's
You're
no large.
20 seconds away from saying you are a terrible person.
No, I didn't want to be one of those because I got a couple classic football shirts, but I didn't want to be. I don't know. I would have felt a little bit cultural appropriation-y wearing it. You know what I mean? Even though I got a Holland shirt, I got an old school Holland shirt. I'd feel a little bit cultural
Football shirt
appropriation.
is a football shirt. I think that's fair.
Because where do you
Fair ground.
where do you stand on like cultural appropriation?
Where do I stand on it?
Yeah, what you
is-
know what I mean? What's appreciation and what's appropriation?
It depends on the thing. That doesn't make for a good podcast.
No,
but
no,
it,
thanks.
just, it depends on. I think it's a. Honestly, it's a case by case, person by person basis.
Okay, so
And that's the thing. You can't just be calling out random people on the street because I just don't know everybody's context. I don't know everybody's background. So for me, that's just, it's on, when you see it on like a wider industrial scale of something like, I don't know, the Kardashians, they'll be selling like T-shirts with Tupac on them.
right,
Something
yeah.
like that. That's on a wider industrial capitalist scale. I can say that's kind of gross. But just on a person by person basis, it's really hard to judge.
Okay, so like the jealous is there a thing of like a jealousy within, you know, like something like that? I don't know how to put it better. Well, to not put it as badly as I just did, but there's something within it. Like there might be a thing where I can understand where someone goes, oh, you didn't know the struggle we had to go through. So, for example, I understand with something like dreadlocks, where black people go, hold on, when I went to school or where I work in an office, my office would go, oh, you're not allowed to have hair like that. And then all of a sudden, Phil turns up one day and he's been to
Turkey.
He's been to he's been
Got
you know,
a
he's been
transplant.
traveling. He's now got a couple of white person cane rolls, and now all of a sudden it's fine.
Yeah, that is the thing actually. Because you see like someone like the Kardashians, and they got the big booty, they got the lips, they'll have their hair in cane rows, and I think sometimes it's the media, right? Because the media in the past would be like, look at this terrible haircut, or this booty's too big, or these lips are ugly. And then now they've seemed to turn around for the white women and be like, well, this is in style, this is fashion. So sometimes I feel like it's not necessarily the individuals who are doing it, because fucking it's your own body, do what you want to your own body. But it's the almost like the gaslighting of like, well, we told you that you had this naturally and it was bad, and now we're saying, well, this is what's in style.
Yeah, so and
these are the people that we're gonna give credit for putting it in style.
so that's the bit where I like completely understand. You might go cultural appropriation, but what I don't, do you know what I mean? Like someone like Jack Harlow, who I think makes good music. What?
Yeah,
He's decent.
he's alright.
He's not groundbreaking, but I think he's a decent rapper.
He's like
He's a decent rapper, and then he catches a lot of hate of like, oh, you're taking on, you're a copying black culture, or you're doing.
I think a lot of black people they like Jack Harlow.
Yeah, but there's also a group of people, and within white people as well, that are like, oh, you're copying this, or because white people go the other way. White people do the thing of go, why are you acting black? That's one I've got with my voice before. Which I think is a way more offensive thing to say.
Yeah, I think with Jack Harlow specifically, I think people actually respect him because he seems to be himself. He's just a cool white boy. Now, I think he's not the best rapper in the world, but I think off the back of him being a cool white boy, he's now reached stratospheric fame. And I think sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you just need to be slightly charismatic, cool, and friends with a few black people, and you can be stratospheric level of fame. I don't know the struggle that he came up with in terms of how long he's rapping. The same with that, the Manchester guy, H and RD. Like, obviously, overnight success is not always overnight success. There's probably a lot of hard work. But sometimes you do see it's like, oh, they can rap a little bit, and now they've shot to the top of
You just need a bit of charisma.
a little bit of charisma.
And a couple of black friends.
Couple black friends. You think about,
I think.
is there a mixtape coming?
I think I could do it. Not in rap. I don't think that anybody. I think if I was to ever try and do rap, it would be the worst thing that has ever. I think the genre would just end.
Yeah,
There would just be no more rap music.
might do biggest harm to UK rap since Tim Westwood. That would be.
I would be as damaging as Suge Knight, but not for any good, not in a good business sense.
Just bad, yeah.
But yeah, because that's what we want to talk about today: is jealousy
and
relationships.
jealousy. You know, I was kind of thinking jealousy, but not in the romantic sense.
Okay.
In the platonic sense, with
Right.
your friends.
Yeah.
Are you at the age now where, you know, childhood friends, maybe you speak to them a bit less,
Yeah.
see them a little less?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel a bit of?
Funnily enough, I saw my mate Jackie Pearson when I was coming out last week. We were both getting on a bus in Brixton.
Who's that? You said their full name. So
It's my mate.
Made them sound like they're famous.
No, it's just my mate. It's called
Just my friend Jack.
Jackie P. And me and Jack, when we were both kicked out of college, would just go around to sit around mine when I was 16 and just smoke weed all day and do fuck all and walk to Sainsbury's and talk about, imagine being rich, imagine having these things. And
You still do that 10 years later.
no, and 10 years later, we've both come. I've got a semi-successful stand-up career. I've got a podcast that's going well. This podcast is going well, believe it or not.
It's going all right.
It's going all right.
going all
We're doing okay. We cannot believe that you lot are listening to this.
I can believe it.
Okay.
But thank you anyway.
Yeah, that's to self-deprecate a little bit,
yeah.
but you really don't like that.
No.
Okay, speak it into existence, bro.
Yeah.
And then, so... I thought you looked away and pulled a face to camera. So I saw him and we were both talking about, you know, fuck, man. And I'm what I liked about hanging out with him is at no point we went, we should go for a pint soon. We should go do anything. We were both talking about when you're an adult, you ain't going for a pint with someone that you haven't seen in a while's work. It's long. You know what I mean? That's why I like comedy, because comedy is my social life. I get to hang out with comedians. I see them at shows. I have a beer. We'll go out. We have a couple. We fuck off to art. I see you later. That's why I love, you know, like you, Aaron, Vittorio, people like that. Like it was people like Aaron and Vittorio. I only had to meet a handful of times and be like, oh, fucking these guys. They're comics. They're my people.
Yeah.
Whereas when I go out with my mates from home, their stories about work are boring.
Yeah.
You know, their stories they're different. There's a different kind of thing. They don't want to talk about work because we live incredibly different lives. So you do shy away from people a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you find that?
Yeah. To an extent. I mean, there is, I guess, once the nostalgia is done of like, hey, remember this? You do kind of like, well, what are we? Because especially I haven't seen him in a while. It's hard to know what we still connect on if it's not like old childhood memories. But I don't know. Sometimes I struggle to let old friendships go.
Also, some of those childhood memories like that I got like with a couple of my mates are fucked up. Like,
Right.
I remember one time there was this park in Palace Farm. There was a farm in Palace Park. Yeah, you could walk up and see the pigs. And I went for a piss one day and the pig walked up, so I just started pissing on the pig. I can't hang out with these people again, innit? I can't. Do you know what I mean? I can't start. Go, hey, do you remember that time I pissed on the pig? Like, you can't just start.
Pissed on a pig.
I pissed on a pig.
They are quite dirty
They're
animals.
naturally filthy animals.
This is true.
Your face then was so.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I wasn't,
They are very smart, I have to say. They're deeply smart.
They're not smart enough not to get pissed on. I tell you that.
well, you can say that about R. Kelly's victims.
That's the worst thing that's ever been said on this podcast.
I don't think so.
But do you know what I mean? You got those stories a lot back then. And
I really thought you were gonna say you fucked a pig. I was braced for that.
Dude, if I do you think I would admit that on this podcast if I ever had?
I thought you were gonna casually admit to fucking a pig, and I didn't know. I was trying to think what can I say.
well, let's see where we could. You think I've just run out of topics on the show? I better bring out the time I committed bestiality and hope Mike runs with it.
I was like, what can I say to make this clippable?
Oh, I had one this week. I found out my ex starting to see someone new. You get that sort of jealousy
Found
thing.
out.
Yeah.
How did you find out?
She told me.
Oh, so she just gave you information. You didn't find it out.
Well, I didn't hire a private detective to start following her. I'm not a psychopath.
Yeah, she just.
Yeah, I put a brick through her window. I make out that there's a stalker who's following her, and she can only turn and trust me. No, and
So you're friends now. You and your ex?
yeah, we're still cool. I try not to leave anything on bad terms. You know what I mean? And what was that face for?
That pig would say different.
Okay, that pig would say different.
Yeah.
But I was 15 back then.
That's
I wasn't
so
as mature
old.
as
That's so mature.
Yeah, you're still of an age where you know you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
But it's
Either way,
the pig didn't mind for any RSPCA people out there. It was fine. It's a pig.
yeah.
Probably happy frolicking around in piss.
I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
You are. I'm ready.
And so yeah, I found out she's seeing a new guy. So at first turns out he's 5'9". Good start. Good for me. 6'1". So winning my call because you have that thing in it. Where you start seeing someone new, you got to look if they've upgraded or downgraded.
He might make up 3 inches somewhere else though.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That's how life works sometimes.
Fuck. That's not fair.
Mm.
And yeah, but then it turns out he's like works in tech and has made like quite a bit of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big dick.
We don't know if he's got a big dick. That's
in the
ambiguous. That's it's Schrodinger's dick. The
Good
cord is
center of gravity because he's shorter.
yeah, but he's all right. Here is the other thing. He's 40, so I'm 25, which I say is a draw because I think I'm a better fuck than him, but I think he's going to be more attentive.
Why do you assume you're better fuck than a 40-year-old?
I'm a 25-year-old guy who does jiu-jitsu. I can like I'm there. Do you know what? I'm more of a blow your back out than a make love kind of fuck. But but I do think like here is the problem with going with me is after sex you will hear the sound of a PlayStation turning on.
Immediately after.
Finish and roll over.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
I've already got the headset on.
I got to shout out Mark Nelson because he gave me that line. I don't want to steal it. He gave me the EA Sports in the game. Like, I sent that to him.
That's fucking funny.
So he's going to be more attentive than me. You know what I mean? He's going to lie there after, listen to all her issues and that nonsense, and all of that stuff. But
So he wins on emotional intelligence.
no, but I've got the I can blow your back out.
But that gets old as you get older.
Yes, it does, but it's still
It's still a draw.
thing. You know what I mean? You know,
It's a strange
5'9", 40-year-old going at you, or 25-year-old dad bod. So I look like I've got the body of an injured footballer.
I don't know. I just imagine you having sex the same way you wrestle. Them wrestling videos.
Don't know where my hand should be. You can tell he does it, but you don't know if he's good. I'm toxic as fuck, innit? Like I think we all know that.
Yeah,
I'm working on
there's enough
myself,
evidence.
trying, but you know.
I've not seen the evidence.
So I start thinking like, oh well, I could probably beat the fuck out of this guy.
Right.
I got that thing. Which do you get that as a guy? Like, is there a bit of masculinity that's within you that's sort of like I can never? If your ex starts seeing someone new, even though it means nothing, and I cannot stress means nothing to women, you've got that. I can beat the fuck out of that guy if it came to it. If we went back to caveman time, I could raid his tribe with my bare hands. That kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Someone's been studying some history.
Yeah. You know that. Did you ever get that?
Or
No,
could you,
sorry
could
for
you,
disagreeing with you all the time. No. I'm literally like, oh, it's better than me. Cool, let's move on.
the creative inside of me.
Oh, so you're a bit more. Let's do the healing and move on with the relationship, kind of.
Yeah, I remember like my ex of like 4 years. After 4 years, 1 month after, she started dating someone that literally looked like me.
That's a win for you.
Yeah, but and like he was stronger and everything because he would do climbing and stuff, and I was like, it's not. I wouldn't fight or anything. I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But if he looked like a weaker man than you would have had the. I would.
No, I'm not into fighting.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But do you have like maybe I'm smarter than you have a version of that?
Why are you trying to make him toxic? He's just healthy.
I'm not saying toxic. I'm saying do you not have a version of that when you start whatever your thing might whether it be
I can do
intelligence.
crowd work better than him.
I've seen your crowd work.
It's still better than a non-comic. I'll have that.
I just think that because I do stand up and I used to do magic by the time, I was like, my life is cooler than that, guys. So I was like,
You used to do magic.
Yeah, that's.
You don't mention that. Don't mention that flippantly.
You could saw him in half.
Yeah, long ago in Spain. But yeah, I was like.
Did you do a magic coincide with her breaking up with you? Was that when you took it up?
No, because by then when we broke up, I started doing stand-up.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, but yeah, you have that thing of you're a comedian. You go on stage. You've got a coolness factor to you. There's a thing that you can, in the healing of yourself, go, I am better than that guy, in that regard. Now, there's a level of ego that comes with that, but I think you have to do. You didn't let yourself get down in the dumps and all that. I'm sure you went through that. But then as you move on, you do that. I'm fucking better than him, and I deserve better. That kind of thing.
No, because I was like, luckily, I was with a therapist all this time.
Okay.
And I didn't think about him to go through everything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because I feel like going through him makes for inauthentic win. You need your win to be solely based on your own validation. You can't be anybody else linked to it. Otherwise, it's not authentic. You can fall apart at any moment, the moment you start putting other people, because they start doing better than you.
Well, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, talk.
So my thing was I could fuck him up, but turns out he was in the Israeli Defense Force and has killed a couple of people.
I told you, that low center of gravity, it works.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. But he did that with guns. Now, I like to think.
I think the only thing for you now is to join the Palestinian army.
Well, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That is now my new take on the situation. I've always been pro-Palestine, but never have I been more pro-Palestine.
You need to get out there, bro.
Never have I wanted to do more for the Palestinian people. Not seeing the horrific injustices that they face on a daily basis by what I consider to be an illegal occupation. No. It took an Israeli guy fucking my ex-girlfriend for me to suddenly be like, we should put on a benefit and raise money to help the cause.
Sometimes that's all it takes sometimes. But are you if she is your friend now, you're happy for her, right?
No, absolutely not.
How is that related to the topic that we're talking?
Because I'm jealous of this guy.
When did that happen?
When did
You broke up?
a few months back.
Also, you're not jealous because
How many?
How many years?
Yeah, how many months?
Oh, like from December.
Oh, that's quite recent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think because you're not actual friends.
You can be friends. So.
You can't be friends.
Yeah, but you're not though. Yeah, you can be, but you're not. You're not there yet.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, I really hope she doesn't listen to this episode. I made a real agreement that I wasn't going to talk about these kind of things on here, but I was running out of things to say.
That's a good cliffhanger.
Whenever I start flailing on this podcast, I throw my personal life under the bus.
We'll save that for the Patreon.
We'll save that for the Patreon, which we've got news on, by the way.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we can announce it now.
Would you like to announce it now?
Sure, why not? We just brought it up. So we are setting up a Patreon for £3.50 a month. There's one tier, £3.50 a month. Now, to make it out that we the last thing we want to do to our listeners, who we love the fact that you comment on our stuff, that you come back to this podcast, that you share the clips. We never wanted it to feel like, when we're paying for the studio and things like that, that we weren't giving you value for money. That's why it's taken us a while to set up a Patreon. So we've had a big chat about it. Wanted to find our voice.
We were, because this is costing us money. We are in overdrafts here, people, and it is not looking good. But
I'm doing okay.
Okay, Mike's doing okay, which isn't a great selling point to ask people for money. And but what we decided to do was we're going to do an extra hour of extra episode each week with new philosophical games. We are going to keep the philosophical angle in it. We got our.
We never lost it.
We haven't. Yeah, we're still talking about. Yeah. It's just thinking and shit, isn't it? So we're going to have an extra hour every week that's recorded, will be put up on the Patreon. There'll be video. I'm going to upload all the videos onto the Patreon as well. And for just £3.50 a month, you can
have everything.
You can have everything.
You can have everything, and
we're within realms of the podcast.
Within realms of the podcast, and we're just always looking for new ways to innovate as well. I know, like for example, people have mentioned we haven't had any guests on yet. We're looking to have comedian friends on as guests. We're looking to have actual philosophical lecturers on, so they can let us know how dumb we are being with succinct language.
I don't know if anyone who listens to this is a philosophical lecturer or anything like that. I don't even know if that's the fucking word for it. But let us know, send us your credentials, because some people have just gone, yeah, I like philosophy. And I'm like, that's not enough to come and be the first guest on the podcast. That's how we got into this mess.
We're also looking for very unethical people
Yes.
to have on the pod. Any drug dealers or murderers. I would preferably, if you're murder, you've served time and now you're out.
Yeah, well, if you're a drug dealer,
Current drug dealer.
I've spoke to a few drug dealers and people like that. We can do an episode without video and without would change the voice. Or what would be cooler is if you like wore a balaclava.
Yeah,
That would look way cooler. We obviously we don't want you to get arrested and all of that, but it would look so cool if we had someone in here wearing a balaclava. Maybe a member of the IRA. I was genuinely chatting to someone about that at some point. Their dad was in the IRA and I asked if he would come on, and she was like, "No."
You didn't inform me of that.
Well, I thought it'd be a nice surprise.
I feel like we should be careful about, because we're going to get messages from criminals.
Yeah.
And, if we leave them unread, it might not be good.
I don't know where we record this. We're fine. MI5's across the road.
Okay, so but yeah, we are looking to broaden our content, and we are philosophy fans.
Yes.
Might not look like it, but during the contents of our debates,
We really, as well, the one we want to do, I don't want to tie this into. I don't want to say any of that was unethical, by the way. I think there's complete ethical. Would want to be on to talk about the ethics of drug dealing or things like that, rather than say it's unethical. That would be the whole discussion.
yes,
With us giving a comical stance to your horrendous crimes. No,
traditionally unethical professions.
yeah. So we'd love to do one with sex workers as well.
Yeah,
That would be fun. The philosophy of sex work and things like that.
we don't need to canvas for that because Elliot already knows plenty.
I'm actually in talks with a couple. Don't say that like I have a regular thing for sex workers.
I'm just saying, some.
I do know quite a few. Not in that way, everyone. Calm down.
But if you did,
yeah, in the past.
okay, but
I ended up in a book, quite a well-known comedian's book, because I was on another podcast talking about getting a sex worker. Me and Jamali Maddox and Kai Humphreys ended up in a book, like with the podcast being quoted, and we were all like, "Oh no, this isn't good," and we went to complain about it, and another comedian friend of ours went, "Yeah, I mean, she's fair enough. What you were saying was completely not on." Jamali said the words, "Elliot's getting third world pussy."
can you give some context?
Well, I was on an episode of Sloss and Humphreys on the Road,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is a podcast that I used to.
And you were just talking about your previous alliances.
It was a podcast I used to do, and we used to be quite flippant with things that we get up to. Whereas now I've learned not to do that.
Right, yeah.
Even though I've talked about pissing on a pig on this episode.
But basically, £3.50 will get you Patreon service, and Elliot's going to be setting up because he's
And the guy sets all that shit up.
sets all up, and yeah, we listen, guys, we're just looking to keep growing. Numbers are doing well. We really think this could be a really cool pod, and we want you to be part of the journey.
Yeah, and like I said, if you guys think of like any topics you want us to discuss and things like that, send it in, because God knows we are running out. We are running out of things to think.
We barely even touched on my topic.
Yeah. Well, what's your moral dilemma of the week?
I don't put me on the spot. I've got no dilemma.
Mine was kind of that guy, and like,
That
what do I
guy?
do to? Well, no,
Oh, is that lady?
no. The guy who's banging my ex.
All right, but what's the dilemma? He's just better than you. There's no dilemma. He just stated a story of a guy who's more mature, probably has more money, has a bigger penis, and your girlfriend has moved on to him. Where's the dilemma?
Well, yeah, if you phrase it in that way.
Maybe he's not banging her. This is in your brain.
Oh no, he's definitely banging her.
But everything is in your brain. You don't know. You don't know anything.
Oh, what do I know about it?
Nothing.
Oh, that's a good
Exactly. You've just kind of constricted.
point. Construct.
Could you become friends with this guy, you reckon?
Yeah, I'd have him on the pod.
Have you ever...
I'd have him on here, and I'd want him to ask him what it's like to kill two people. I wouldn't give a fuck about.
You don't want to ask him what it's like to fuck your girlfriend in terms of... Because you...
No, I know what that's like.
But you know it from your perspective.
Right.
It's almost like meta. Like, what's it like?
What's it like from his perspective?
Yeah. We might have to take that out. I don't.
No, we could keep that in. I don't give a shit. It's fine.
Such a weird thing to. I've never met that. Oh no!
No. my God! What are you doing?
Say that.
No, we won't. No, I don't know how to bleep things, so it's in.
Someone has to. I've never met your ex-girlfriend, so I'll stop talking about. Whew, any dilemmas from anybody else? Anybody? Any stories?
Holy shit! This could get me in a lot of trouble, you know.
What do you mean? You said that she listens anyway. It's not like you're not gonna know.
I don't think she doesn't. I don't think she does listen.
Okay, then fine. We're good.
Yeah, I know. I did say to her when she told me, I'm going to talk about this on the pod, by the way. But I didn't think she was going to bring up that he killed 2 people.
Oh, we're good. Whew. But
he killed 2 people in the army.
Who told you that? She told you.
I'm not going to disclose who told me he killed 2
Okay,
people.
but okay, cool. But that's fucking like to find this out from someone.
Yeah, it's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, but like on your side, like you just did like some investigation about it.
I'm not going to say how I found out.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't disclose my sources.
Yeah, you say the seed, not the sinner.
Yes, exactly. And I probably shouldn't have mentioned.
no, listen, it's done.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that, should have I?
Now is to move on, because we don't need the IDF.
Yeah, the IDF.
We don't need them. Giving us some talks.
I don't think this podcast would not survive the the IDF.
Although if they did want to become patrons,
£3.50 a month.
I don't know the exchange rate.
But yeah. Well, this is. I could end up getting my head absolutely caved in after this week's episode.
And even then, that's a new story to tell for the Patreon.
Yeah,
for the future Patreon.
That would be good. Here's the story of. I think they'd all guess that Mossad had come and fucking broke my arms.
I love that you come on here with your actual relationship dilemmas and stuff.
Yeah, well, someone's got to.
Well, we did mine.
We did one of yours.
Well, we'll stick with that for now.
Mike doesn't like to talk about his personal life at all. He's very.
Fair enough.
Got to have a work-life balance, and also like life is just always changing. So that means I have to keep updating people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could come in every now and then and sort of say what's going on. But I respect that about you. I don't throw you under the bus.
I appreciate that.
Podcast. Like I wouldn't do that. I want to keep a good working relationship.
Yeah, well, you couldn't because we couldn't keep working.
It would fall apart.
If every time you just revealed my personal information, there's really nowhere.
Yeah, it's annoying when someone does that, isn't it? Yeah, imagine bringing up saying the name of the person.
But we stayed friends.
Oh,
I'm trying to bring it back to
friendship.
The loose. Because maybe we can save more of this for the next episode because we are getting.
We got like 10 minutes left, man. We're good.
Because I just kind of
10 minutes.
Like how many? Like I just say, like how many friends is too many friends?
Well, I think you've got to keep a small but close circle.
You say that. The thing about everyone always talks about the benefits. I keep my circle tight. Keep it tight. But then when those people are busy, you're kind of like, who do I call?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I've got a thing of I've got my group chat with the Goat Gang, my boys from some other comedy pals who I don't get to see a lot because we all live in different locations. We're all different ages. Everyone's up to different things. But then we got the Gossip Gang, me, you, Jamali. We stay in contact quite a bit. We sit there, we'll go, and we have this thing where we see each other all the time, and then it'll go weeks. That's what I like about the podcast because I just get to come hang out with my mates. I get to make new mates. You know what I mean? Like it's a fun.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah, of course, man. It's hilarious.
I just wanted to confirm with him first before.
I'm not going to know how to write your name in my phone book, but
fair enough. SERGI.
Okay, well that was simple.
So simple. But
and there are cool things about that. I like having Phoebe as a friend. I like having people like Helen Bauer and people like you know what I mean. Why
are you just naming friends?
Because they're my friends, and it's also fun as I've gotten older. I've realised the importance of having female friends.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's a very important thing to have, I think.
So it's good to have a hierarchy of close friends to acquaintances outwards.
Well, yeah, but there's also people that you meet and go, oh, I just click with them. Like me and Aaron McCann have that fit. Like I'd get on with Aaron, but I've probably only seen him 4 times in the last 6 months. But every time I see him, it's a laugh. We just go have a few pints and we fucking have a belt of time. I'm like, if I was to get married, I'd go, I'd invite him to the. Do you know what I mean? I have that with Adam Rowe. Me and Adam Rowe never ring, never text each other. see each other once every night, but we did a whole Fringe together. That we have that thing. We're still boys, but I don't need to ring him. He don't need to ring me. You know, I like that kind of friendship.
It took me a long time to really make comedy friends. I was just kind of
Really?
like, hi, you know, I mean, I'm very friendly to people in the room, but in terms of hanging out with people outside of comedy, I was very reticent
Why?
to do that. I think it's just like I was saying about that work-life balance. I wanted to make sure I had that separation. I didn't want my whole life to be comedy. You know, people who all their friends are comics, they only date comics. I didn't want that life because, you know, let's say something like the pandemic happens when your job is taken away. I feel like your whole sense of self-worth and validation has become too intrinsically linked to the job that you do. And let's say the job isn't going well, it's too intrinsically linked. Like sometimes I wonder, like, if I quit comedy tomorrow, how many of my comic friends would I still keep?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Things like that.
Well, I'd have to find a replacement
What? Yeah, exactly.
in terms of the pod and friendship.
Yeah.
I am only with you because
Would they have
you
to
are
be
doing well.
black, or could it be any race?
Oh, I think
You
I
were very
would.
friendly with Vittorio when he was here. I
Oh,
think
that was a little bit bitchy.
that's where the friendship and jealousy came up. No, I'm joking. Thank you. For
Were you a little bit jealous of me and Vittoria? You didn't even listen to the episode.
No, exactly. I didn't even watch it, so I wouldn't even know.
Mike has not listened to one episode, by the way. Every week I go, hey, send me the bit that you want me to clip up. And Mike goes, yeah. And then he goes, do you remember that bit where we said this? And I'm like, yeah, but it's like a 3-minute bit. And he'll be like, oh, yeah, I didn't listen.
Yeah, I mean, I just, I like to keep the dynamic fresh. The only way to do that is by not listening. I just made up.
You have just bullshitted your way. Yeah, it would help if you listened to an episode every now and then.
We could talk about this off the pod.
Yeah.
This off the pod talk.
We do a lot of admin. We do a lot of admin on the pod here.
What was I saying though?
Keeping your circle small.
Yeah, just the idea of like that's why I was a bit. But now I have a good stable of comic friends like you, Jamali, a few other people. But I just think it's, especially with work and sometimes, like, you know, people in the office, they have an office husband, they have an office friend.
Oh, that's weird though, that shit.
But they're not friends with those people outside of the office, really.
No, but the office husband thing I think's weird. If I was ever seeing a girl and she was like, oh, here's my office husband, I'd be like, fuck off.
What
Like,
if he was a 5'9" Israeli soldier?
Well, then he's our office husband.
Yeah.
No, well, do you find it hard making friends in general?
I reckon as I get older, I don't know if you find this. How old are you guys?
I'm the same age as you. I'm 25 to 26.
I'm 26.
26. I don't know if you find this. As I get older, let's say outside of comedy, the spaces that I would use to find friends, it's definitely more difficult. And maybe that time spent like being able to actually develop the friendship, because you need to spend time with someone to become close friends, innit?
Because everyone has friends already.
Yeah,
That's one of the things I think.
yeah.
Because everyone has what, sorry?
They have friends already.
Yes.
At our age, it's like they have friends for years now.
Like, when was the last time you made a new friend outside of comedy?
Oh, I do. Oh, okay. See, you've had that stipulation. Because of comedy, I always have like a thing where I like helping newer comedians a lot, especially ones that I like. I really like helping.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that shit.
No, I love doing that. And
All my enemies.
and you're in competition with
I'm
everyone.
in competition.
And I love making friends through comedy, but it's because we've got this music. But I guess through jiu-jitsu and things like that actually would be the other thing where you've already got a mutual interest. You don't know what anyone's job is for months because you have this thing that you're talking about, and then
And your guards are down because of all the.
or
brain
if you're bad at
damage.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Your guards are down literally, and because of the CTE, you're more likely probably to.
So well, you don't get too much CTE with jiu-jitsu.
Okay, but
thankfully.
just for the sake of my joke, man. For the sake of my joke. It's like that. You're like the gay guy who was telling you about the medical term. It's actually, it's called. You've become one of those people. So ism. Was it jokeism? Is that what we should call it?
Jokeism. That's the name of this pod. Jokeism.
Yeah.
This episode's gonna get me murdered, you know.
No, I reckon you'll be fine.
I don't think so.
Also, you could just
Maybe
learn how to
This
edit.
can kick off from this episode.
Pardon?
This can kick off from this episode like big time, maybe.
Do you reckon?
I reckon
You
that
never
he's
know.
not listening.
I don't think he.
I don't think he knows you exist.
No, I don't think he knows I exist. But you never know. This podcast's growing.
Also, he could just have deep PTSD and he's got his own problems. You're not high up on the list of his priorities.
Yeah. Fucking enjoy waking up shit in the bed, dickhead. I don't have to deal with that. Okay, he's gonna kill me for that one, isn't he? Enjoy.
I didn't even know that was a symptom. I don't know. I didn't know. I thought that was what Amber Heard did. I didn't know. Maybe she has PTSD.
Hey, if my ex is listening, at least we could go to firework night with each other. Oh, okay. No, I deserve to get stabbed for that one.
Yeah, I think that's Btec.
That is Btec this week.
Btec today,
Do you want to plug your wonderful comedy special?
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I want to plug a couple things. So last Friday, I had a comedy special that dropped on Amazon Prime under the Soho Theatre Presents banner. So if you just type in my name and go on Soho Theatre Presents, you'll find my comedy special, Black Bears Matter, 1 hour long. It's from my Edinburgh show from 2019. Very proud of it. And go check that out. And also next week, Brighton Fringe on the 19th of May, I finally realised that that's where I am. And that's why I'm performing. And I need to sell some tickets. I've had at least 6 weeks of this pod to promote it. And I kind of treated it quite flippantly, but now I realize it's upcoming and I need to sell some tickets.
You need to sell some tickets. You got anything you want to promote? You got?
No, nothing really. Not yet.
Fair enough, man.
Working on things.
That's good. Thank you for coming to do it today, by the way.
Thanks for letting me talk.
No, it's good, man.
Great.
Love to have you back. And I just want to promote. What have I got to promote? This isn't really anything worth me promoting, but it's a bit of a flex.
Okay.
I'll be supporting Shane Gillis this Friday at Leicester Square Theatre and at the O2 Shepherd's Bush. So I imagine there'll be a few people listening to this who will go to that because, I'd like to think that we have crossover with him because he's an amazing stand-up.
Very talented comedian.
Thank you, man. I am.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Take it.
And that's going to be this week's episode of Btec Philosophers. Follow us on Instagram at Btec Philosophers and individually at Michael Odewale and at Elliot Still. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be still setting the Patreon up this week and lots of love. Take care.
Bye.